Alright, welcome to this latest video, guys. We're going to be talking about today multiplying and dividing expressions. So again, many of the techniques that you've learned about fractions can be applied to algebraic expressions. We combine numbers and variables with multiplication. This is similar to regular numbers, not even worrying about fractions, and we simplify things using division. Okay, a couple of things for you to remember before we sort of attack this. This will be more of a examples generated video. So things to know. Right, A times B is written as AB. So remember, we try and get rid of our multiplication signs if we can in algebra. And A divided by B is written as instead A over B. Okay, I'll just sort of write that out here. A over B. Okay, we're sort of getting rid of the little division sign. Probably a good thing, because if you move to this new way of doing things, your order of operation stuff will get so much easier. Okay, right, when we're multiplying terms together, there's a couple of things we need to do. Essentially, you multiply the numbers together to get a new coefficient for your term. Remember, coefficient is the number that's out the front. And then you multiply the variables or your letters together, then you write the new term with the coefficient out the front that you just got, and then the variables, usually in alphabetical order. It's just sort of the convention, the way of doing it, okay? That sort of makes it that everyone's algebra kind of makes sense and looks similar to each other, okay? Right, when we're dividing algebraic terms, we write the division as a fraction instead, sort of similar to what we were doing before. Okay, write your division as a fraction. And then, similar to fractions, you should always try and simplify. So simplify your fraction by dividing the numerator and denominator by their highest common factor. Or remember, that was something that we called our HCF. Okay, so remember I said that there's a lot of things that you maybe didn't enjoy, but they certainly don't go away. They'll keep coming back. All right. Now, in algebra, importantly, you need to remember is that HCFs can be either numbers or variables. All right, very important. Right. This one is the most important thing that you need to worry about with algebra so far, is that, pardon me, cancelling only works within a term. Okay, that's something we'll sort of have a look at a little bit later. Maybe it's something we'll come across in class a bit more, but you really need to be careful that you don't cancel across terms. Okay, you can't do that. All right. Okay, having a look at some worked examples now. So simplify the following expressions. The first one we've got here is 7 times 2y. So we've got multiply here, and remember, the multiplication steps was first thing that we multiply our numbers together. So we have 7 times 2y. It's the same thing as, so 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is usually 14. Y. In fact, I kind of went over the top. You definitely don't need this step. You could just go straight to this one here. That's kind of how it works. Right. This next one here. Okay, deliberately got a couple of extra sort of variables in here for us to muck around with. So 8s times negative 4b times y. How are we going to approach this? Well, remember, the first thing is our numbers. Okay, so we'll have 8s times negative 4b times y. Okay, so 8 times negative 4. So like, just to sort of say what we're doing, we are multiplying. So 8 times 4 times negative 4 is 8 4 is 32, negative 32. So we have negative 32. Then we have s times b times y. Good idea to write them in alphabetical order. So 32 b s y, and we're done. Okay, oops, that wasn't my working area. Here, 32 b s y. Okay, numbers, then variables. Okay. Right, next one. Okay, so here's cancelling a division. Right, well, this one's already been written in a fraction for us, but we need to be able to simplify this. Okay, so there's a couple of simplifications we can go on here. So this here is already a fraction. Already a fraction, so simplify. Okay, so we have 24GH over 12G. Right, highest common factor, so HCF of 24 and 12, well, this is the kind of thing where you want to be really good at these things. I can tell you that it's 12, okay? 1 times 12 is 12, and 2 times 12 is 24. So the highest common factor of 24 and 12 is 12, okay? So that means that we can divide the numerator and the denominator by 12, okay? So to sort of write it in a long form, which is probably not a bad idea at the moment, 24 divided by 12 over 12 divided by 12. Leave our letters, GH, GH, because we're just working on the numbers at the moment, okay? So rewrite it. 24 divided by 12 is 2. GH. 12 divided by 12 is 1. Don't need to write that in algebra. Leave our G on the bottom. Right. Now here's where you sort of think about the letters actually mean some number, okay? But they mean the same number if it's the same letter. So let's just do a little aside over here in a different color. Okay, remember that 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Okay? And so it's the same thing as any number divided by itself is always going to be 1. Okay? So when you have a fraction made up like this that is an entire term, remember a term is just made up of multiplication and division only. Okay? We have a G over a G here. Okay, so in a way, what we kind of call this is we cancel those G's out because they cancel each other to make a 1, all right? And if we multiply a 1 into this fraction, it doesn't do anything. So it's essentially, we take them out, all right? We sort of cross the G, cross out the G, and we are left with 2H, and that's it, okay? That's all we need to do. Okay, our last one, 36AZ divided by 72AC. So, when it's written like this for us as a division, our first step is to write as a fraction. So I should write what we did up there. Already fractions to simplify. Yeah, we sort of, highest common factors is cancelled. Right, come back down here. Okay, we need to rewrite this as a fraction. So 36AZ divided by 72AC is the same thing as 36AZ divided by 72AC. Okay, right. First things first, we've written it as a fraction. Second, HCF of our coefficients. Okay, so 72 and 36. Again, you need to be get very familiar with your times tables up to 100, so you can quickly know that 36 times 2 is 72. Okay. There's a lot of ways you could just sort of remember that, but it's good to be able to see that and recognize that what's going on. So again, we can divide both of these things by 36. So the highest common factor of these two things is 36. And so we get that this, we're going to bring it down here. So we're going to divide both the numerator and denominator by 36. 36 divided by 36 AZ over 72 divided by 36 AC, and we end up with 36 divided by 36 is 1, and we don't write that because we don't need to, so all we've left is on our numerator is AZ over 72 divided by 36 is 2 AC. Now, as before, you can see that we've got some letters, the same letter on the top and the bottom of our fraction that only has multiplication in it. So we have an A here and an A here, so they can cancel each other out, and all we're left is with Z over 2C, and we're done. Okay, now these are very abstract. There's no real reason for doing them. We're not using it for anything at the moment. We're just learning some tools. If you can learn the tools of algebra and get them sorted, really stamp them in your mind so that you can always know how to use them. Algebra is not something where you learn a process that you just follow this process all the time. Like necessarily when we did fractions or something, you always just learn this is how we add some fractions together. With algebra, you get given a tool set and you continually add to that tool set, and everything you get shown, you need to be able to use that in every situation. Okay, so what we're doing here is we are developing tools. Okay, so yes, this is boring, this is abstract, this has no grounding in reality, but we're going to use this to be able to solve powerful stuff that does actually have real life consequences. Okay, so thanks for watching. Maybe have a go at some of the questions. Otherwise, bring questions along to class and be ready to go when we get there. Okay, thank you.